I think there are so many questions that have arisen out of this Parolee program and the hurt that it has caused, the uncertainty that it has caused has not been something that would credit our nation's processes and policies. Fraud. Let's talk about that. And Mr. Alderman, I want to come to you with this. This is something that we have heard so much about. Of course, the White House has had quite a focus on this, and with what has happened in Minnesota, that has really caused people to look at some of these programs. I introduced the Fraud Accountability Act this month, and it is something that would make fraud a deportable offense and would actually update the INA to make certain that it is that it's explicit. Now, you're serving as the Deputy Inspector General in the DHS Office of Audits. So I want you to talk for a minute about what you are seeing with fraud, how you see if it is widespread, and how you respond to what the steps that this administration, unlike the last administration, this administration is taking steps to root it out.
Thank you. We've done extensive work on COVID relief fraud. In our office, we had a group that was or is directly focused on that, and we found many challenges with fraud through the COVID funding that was received by states. We also look at FEMA grants to ensure that those are spent correctly and have a large number of reports on that, and we will continue to do that type of work to ensure that anytime the department is spending its funds, that there is not fraud involved or wasted funds. I would need to review the changes that would be made. Plus, I wouldn't really look at the policy of changes to the INA in my position, but I can say that we continue to look to make sure to root out fraud with the department spending.
Where are you seeing the most prevalent entry points for people that are committing fraud? Is it through a lack of vetting in these programs, or where's that entry point?
I think there's always a balance when there's an emergency on how quickly you want to quickly provide funds for those people who have faced something terrible. But when you're speeding through those, and sometimes there's something called self-certification where they're saying, I need the funds, that's where it can become a challenge.
Okay. Mr. Baker, let's talk about vetting, and the committee has talked quite a bit about that as you've been in this hearing today. And I think there is no doubt that the lack of vetting is something that has just caused so much concern. And one of the things that I hear in Tennessee is that as people are reviewing these programs, they're not necessarily talking about it as a national security issue. They talk about it as a public safety issue. And we have referenced the situation here in D.C. with Sarah Beckstrom and with Staff Sergeant Wolf and the tragedy that is there. But talk about how you see this lining up with those public safety concerns rising.
Senator, thank you for that good question. I think we in State OIG do view visa and consular integrity as a matter of national security and not just public safety. It's integral to the work that we do, and our work with the Special Immigrant Visa Program has included an integrity working group with DHS, U.S. Customs and Immigration Service, and Bureau of Diplomatic Security, which has concurrent jurisdiction for visa and passport fraud from the beginning. We have a number of ongoing cases, as I mentioned earlier, related to the SIV program, and we are very much seized with the importance of this part of the portfolio for our oversight role.